In 25 years of mortgage lending, I have never done a mortgage where somebody used a rent-to-own program and it went through. Not because we didn't have the programs or I don't know how to do them. There's a lot of stipulations when doing this. It's like putting a square peg in a round hole. Let me give you some details. So before you think, yeah, I know what I'm doing, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna pay an extra $200 a month, and at the end of the year, my landlord's gonna give me $2,400 towards my down payment, and that's what I'm gonna use. Let me break it down for you and tell you why most of the time this program does not work for people. In order to count any sort of down payment assistance from the seller in a rent-to-own program, you have to be willing to pay more than market value in rent to your landlord, and that landlord has to be willing to give you money back towards closing. So you have two things when you buy a house. You have down payment and you have closing costs. The closing costs can be paid by anybody, anytime, up to a certain percentage, depending on what type of loan you're doing. The down payment can come from a down payment assistance program or a DPA, but it cannot come from a lender, a realtor, or the seller. In case where you are renting to own, the down payment can come from the seller, but it can only come from the seller if you are paying more than fair market value for rent. What I mean by that is if you have rent of $1,200 and the fair market value or the fair market rent is $1,000, then $200 a month can go towards your down payment. That would be $2,400. In many cases, why would you give an extra $200, $100, $300 to your landlord when you're not even sure you're going to buy the house 100%? What if something happens and you don't buy the house? The landlord gets to keep that money. So why wouldn't you put your own extra $200 in your own bank account and make interest on it? It doesn't make any sense. So in order for you to use that extra money that you're paying, the lender has to do an appraisal with a rent analysis. And if that rent analysis says that the current rent is $1,200 a month and you're paying $1,400, then you can use it. If they come back and say the current rent, the market rent is $1,400 and you're paying $400, then you can't get any money back, and that rent-to-own program in the trash. So think about it before you do any rent-to-own programs, and contact me directly. Tell me your situation so I can do some research for you, free of charge. Let me know what I can do to help, but be very careful when doing rent-to-own. Hope this helps.